Super Regionals presented by Capital One. For the first time in three-time national champion, the Oregon State Beavers, the last Super for the Men's College World Series, and the winner of our Super Regional, Xavier Scruggs and our ESPN crew, Roxy Bernstein with you. Welcome to Kentucky, second most in Pac-12 history, and Oregon State 6-1 for the Wildcats, and the senior, the grad transfer, 3-7.
And let the defense work.
Ball one outside to Bizana as we're under the Beavers center fielder. 8 hits in the regional last week, including season-high 4 hits against Tulane last Friday night in their opening game. Boozer kicks and the pitch, and McDowell in the air, in left, backing up as Ryan Waldschmidt has room. Reaches the warning track and steps onto the track, and a long fly out the other way, and there's 2 quick outs for Trey Boozer.
And already a good indication of being able to command his pitches early in the count.
Getting 7, allowing 1 run. And a 6-1 victory for Kentucky. And it's 2-1 on Gavin Turley. The pitch. There's a bouncer toward third. That's glove wide of the bag, foul by Mitchell Daly. That evens the count. 2-2 is Boozer, the 6'4" grad transfer from the College of Charlotte. In fact, Boozer has won each of his last 3 starts. And a full count on Turley. Seven homers the last 15 games for Turley, a 15-game on-base streak. And now it's 16 as he takes ball 4 outside. And a 2-out base runner for the Beavers. For the 2-out walk, that'll bring up the cleanup batter, Oregon State left fielder Dallas Macias. 3:25. Short lead for Gavin Turley. And it's ball 1 to Macias.
We just saw what Turley did a great job of working a great at-bat, getting himself on base. That's what Oregon State has done all season long. The walks have been something that they take advantage of. They rarely go out of their zone.
Swing and a miss. Out in front of the off-speed, 1-1 the count, where Oregon State on base percentage this year. Boozer the 1-1. That's fouled back. Ball and 2 strikes on the cleanup batter for Oregon State. Turley, who has 6 steals on the year, the runner buzzing. People crammed into every part of Kentucky Proud Park. Macias in the air to center. Going back is Nolan McCarthy. Has room, and he makes the catch to retire the side. Oregon State strands a runner. Kentucky coming to bat. Off against Aiden May, the transfer from Arizona. And a fastball is bounced foul past this. We welcome those of you just joining us to Kentucky Proud Park in Lexington, Kentucky, along with Xavier Scruggs and our ESPN crew. Roxy Bernstein with you. Bottom of the first. And it's 1-2 now on the leadoff batter for the Wildcats, Ryan Walsh. Their ticket to the Men's College World Series. They're headed to Omaha. And it's funny, we already have 2 Super Regionals that have concluded. We're just getting going here in Lexington. This is game 1.
Started. Let's go.
So the Wildcats hosting a Super Regional for the first time in program history against Oregon State, who's a 3-time national champion. Swing and a miss, got him with a breaking ball, and Aiden May with the strikeout of Waldschmidt, and there's 1 away.
And Roxy, this is obviously a go-to hit. And expect to see that pitch a lot today. If he can continue to expand the zone as well, you're talking about a lot of success for him.
Here's Emilian Petrie, the second baseman for Kentucky. And he takes ball 1. Aiden May, the 1-0. And that's ripped to right, going back is Brady Casper, and he reaches up, stepping onto the track, and he runs it down. That ball struck well by Petrie.
Yeah, really strong off the bat there. But an excellent route, just opening up the hips, getting to the baseball there from Casper. Right off the bat, saw it, was able to get to the spot, secure the catch.
2 gone, the catcher, Devin Burks for Kentucky. 257, 3 homers for Burks. 3 for 10 in the regional last weekend here, where Kentucky swept through. Devin Burks. And that's a strike of the knees from Aiden May. Maybe got a couple extra inches down low.
He's not complaining.
Plate umpire Craig Barron tonight works mostly in the ACC. And that's a strike. 1-2 on Devin Burks. And the rest of our umpiring crew, Brian Marine at first, Casey Moser at second, Jeff Macias down the line at third. Slight breeze blowing out toward left, temps in the mid-70s. Swing and a miss, and May a 1-2-3 first with 2 strikeouts. We're headed to the second, still looking for a hit in Lexington. To open up the second. 5, 6, and 7 for Oregon State. Brady Casper, Mason Guerra to follow. There's a liner. Shot back through the middle. And a leadoff hit for Oregon State to open up the second is Elijah Hainline. Has now hit 14 of the last 15 games. He was red hot in Corvallis in the regional last week, and it continues here in Lexington.
Yeah, this is obviously a shot right back up the middle, but more than anything, you get going early in the count, early with no outs. You get that leadoff man on. Now you can start putting some things to work and putting pressure on the defense.
Hainline, honorable mention, all Pac-12, 6 steals this year. And Brady Casper, the right fielder for Oregon State, climbs in. Pitch. And that struggled in the regional last week. Casper just 1 for 13. But last year he had 2 homers in the Baton Rouge regional, where LSU, of course, beat Oregon State. Then LSU in the Super Regional beat Kentucky. And then Jay Johnson's team went on to win the College World Series. And nice job behind the plate by Devin Burks. 2-1 on Brady Casper. And Burks rather part of this outstanding defensive club that Kentucky has. One of the top defensive teams in the country. Let's face it, one of the reasons why, Xavier, they're 43-14 in SEC co-champs.
Absolutely. It's just sound on all aspects of the game. And that's why you look to both of these teams, try to put pressure on opposing defenses, do whatever you can to make the other team try to make a mistake. Feel like they have to do a little bit too much.
Called strike to Casper. And it fills up the count for the Oregon State right fielder. And the Kentucky defense this year behind Poozer, they're 13th in the country in fielding percentage, a .980 team fielding percentage. Casper reaches forward, a high chop, tough play, charging Petrie at second, gets the out at first. As Elijah Hainline goes to second base, 1 gone.
And right on cue, talking about that defense, this is a team in which Gavin Smith talked about it during the press conference. Just he expects their guys to be that much more on point moving forward into the Super Regional. Guys just have an extra focus on that defensive side. They're doing a nice job.
1 out, a runner at second. Mason Guerra, the Oregon State first baseman. 11 homers, 5 Beavers swept through, going 3-0. They beat Tulane, then beat UC Irvine twice to get to this Super Regional in Lexington. So Guerra, an honorable mention all Pac-12 pick. Despite the late struggles to the season where Guerra went hitless in 11 consecutive games. Guerra suffered through an 0 for 41 spell. Finally broke out of it with 3 hits in Tucson against Arizona, final weekend of the regular season, when the Wildcats, who won the finale of that series to take the Pac-12 championship. Guerra skies it way up into the air behind the plate. And looking into the crowd is Devin Burks, where Oregon State crushed Arizona in the Thursday and Friday games, that Thursday, Friday, Saturday weekend series to end conference play. But then Arizona won the Saturday game on a walk-off hit from Brendan Summerhill. And they won the Pac-12 championship by a half game over Oregon State. And then Arizona also won the Pac-12 tournament championship. Hainline at second, the 2-2. Guerra swing and a miss. Power to fastball by him. First strikeout for Trey Poozer. There's 2 gone.
Yeah, there's Poozer to swing there and did a nice job getting the result.
Leaves it up to Jabin Trotsky for Oregon State. The sophomore from Carmel up in Northern California. 295 with a homer. And a spin but no throw from Puser to second, keeping an eye on Elijah Hainline. Games of the regional last week. And then Trotsky started the finales. That one darts the outside corner. But Trotsky would also come in late defensively for Oregon State those first couple of games, and really is a steady defensive player. Although second base is his natural position, he's not going to play second base this year for Oregon State. They got a pretty good player over there. Trotsky hitting 295 overall, but 361 this year with runners in scoring position. Top of the second, 2 outs. Elijah Hainline at second base. Trey Puser, the pitch. And Puser again has won each of his last 3 starts, including beating Illinois 6-1 through 102 pitches last Saturday in the regional here at Kentucky Proud Park. And the 7 innings tied his season high for him as far as innings pitched. Called strike.
And I think that's a focus for Puser, right? Trying to give your team some length coming into this first game. You know how important it is to win this first game of the Super Regional. If you can give your team some quality innings, keep them in this game or ahead at the time, you've done your job.
And a full count now on Trotsky. So Puser, who began the year in the bullpen for Kentucky, and then took over in the weekend rotation toward the end of March and has not relinquished that spot. Swing and a miss, got him with the off speed. Burks down to first to complete the strikeout. 2 strikeouts to the second for Puser. The Beavers, a hit but stranded runner, heading to the home second, scoreless.